welcome to the next episode of Cemetery Strolls. Today we're in the peaceful village of Newchurch on the Isle of Wight, and we're visiting All Saints Church. All Saints has a peal of 6 bells, the oldest of which was cast in 1589, just a year after the defeat of the Spanish Armada. The church celebrated its 900th anniversary in 1987 and is a fine example of a Norman church with some remaining evidence of pre-Norman origins. It is one of only 3 English churches with an ancient sanctuary door still in place. Durham and Westminster are the other 2. Over the south door there is a crest of William III of Orange, dated 1700, with the face of a lion rampant being an image of King William. The Dillington Mortuary Chapel has a number of tombs, those covering slabs have unusually been well preserved and finely engraved crests and letterings. The following is extracted from the quinarial report published in October 2011 by the church architect Mr. Ian G. Smith. Standing prominently at the north end of Newchurch village, All Saints Church is visible from many points of the central belt of the island. Being cuneiformed in plan with a south porch and tower, it dominates the Arraton Valley. One of 6 churches given by William Fitz Osborne to Lyra Abbey in Normandy. It was given to the See of Bristol by Henry VIII. All Saints has throughout its life had many additions in the 15th, 16th and 17th centuries. The Victorian restoration of 1883 by A.R. Barker remodelled part of the interior. The original church is still quite easily identifiable in the nave, north and the south aisles, and the crossing and the north wall of the chancel, with the latter extensions of the south transept and the chancel evident in the treatment of the windows, which were wider and of 3 light stiles. Constructed of random stone under a steeply pitched tiled roof, the modest exterior is offset by the surprisingly grand interior, a soaring timber-clad nave roof, massive stone columns with octagonal piers, with double chamfered arches progressing to the cross and the chancel. The square tower over the stone rendered south porch, being timber weathered boarding around 1800, is unusual on the island, housing the 6 bow peel, 4 of which were founded in 1810. The others are of the 16th and 17th century vintage. Major benefactors of the church were the Dillington family, who have 8 vaults in north transept and also in the south transept. and of historical interest within the church are the oak pulpit of 1725, the oak door from the porch, the pelican lectern 17th century, the wall tablets, the stained glass east window by Kemp 1909, the Creed and Commandments board in Gothic frames on the west wall, and the panel over the south door with the royal arms of William III, dated 1700. The building is a Grade 1 listed building. The listing in the 29th list of Building of Special Architecture and Historical Interest, dated the 14th of February 1992, of the Isle of Wight, gives a particular detailed description of the history of the church, the windows and the historical features, relying on much of the information contained in the Buildings of England, David W. Lloyd and Nicholas Percival of Hampshire and the Isle of Wight. This has been updated, now having a separate volume on the Isle of Wight in 2006. On the east side, there's also the Dillington sundial in All Saints Churchyard. We'll catch that as well, and that's a Grade 2 listed. The sundial by Robert Marks of London, bolster-shaped stone, based the sundial about 1,000 millimetres in height on plinth of 3 square stone steps. The sundial is missing the sundial original stood on the bowling green at K-Nighton Gorges, but following demolition of the great house, Squires Blissett gave it to the parish in 1826 when it was erected in the churchyard. Historical interest as one of the early relics of K-Nighton Gorge. The simple layout of the church consists of a nave, a chancel, northern and southern aisles, and a tower. It was built on the site of an older structure which was donated by William Fitzosborne to the Lear Abbey. Subsequently, the church came under the control of Beaulieu Abbey. When this religious authority was dissolved, the control of the church was entrusted to Henry VIII, to the Bishop of Bristol, now Gloucester and Bristol. The church was one of 7 parishes on the island when it was built, but now is part of several others. All Saints Church is located at the north end of the village of Newchurch. On the west side of the church, the road has a steep descent which gives the impression that the church is on a bluff. Geographic setting has been described by Venables, a poet, as: to the north the gaze embraces the whole of the Vale of Newchurch, with the undulating ridge of the Chalk Down beyond, ending towards the valley of Medina in the abrupt slope of the St George's Down, the white cliffs of Culver. It's one I've noticed while I was walking about. It's William Rutherford, but it's moved. And what I have noticed in the ground are like holes where somebody's tried to move it. How much they've managed to move it. Certainly not something that the wind can blow. This is the Newchurch War Memorial. And these were died in the Second World War. It's been here for some time, but it's now in the middle of the new graves. The grave down the bottom now I'd love to have shown, but it is quite new. It's on the edge. Loving memory of Thomas Fisk. Died November the 29th, 1927, aged 62. Also Lionel, son of the above, drowned in Australia, June 1987, or maybe or something. Wouldn't be 87, but age 22. And also Annie, his wife, died 1945. That's lovely. FJA 1936. Loving memory of Rose Ellen Elizabeth Nobbs, who died November the 14th, 1945, aged 82 years, and her husband John Nobbs died April the 19th, 1948. We're going to have a look. William Hutchins died aged 76. His wife 73, 1965. But I love the back of it as well. It is nice. Let's another look at the bottom. Love and memory of Edward Burton Maynard, priest, vicar of this parish, who died April 6, 1937, aged 64. Marciette Esther, his widow, who died on November the 18th, 1950, aged 67. It is lovely looking at all the churches and seeing that the vicars and everybody are all buried with the parishioners. Here we have a Commonwealth War grave. L. Taylor, leading telegraphist, Royal Navy. PSSX 25721, HMS Janus, 12th of February 1943, age 23. There's also that little plaque there if the wind stops blowing it. His date of birth, 27th of June 1920, son of Dudley Ernest John and Evelyn Taylor of Apsheath on the island. Enlisted 1938 as a leading telegraphist in the Royal Navy. He served on HMS Warspite and HMS Janus. He died February the 12th, 1943. Thank you for your service, sir. This one still has visitor. Can't see much. Memory of Elizabeth Hayward. Parted this life 1944, age 96. All the lovely snowdrops all up and everything there. It's beautiful. Spring is coming, but steadily. See what's on this one. There's one there. Maybe actually a family plot which I was about to go in. There's one of the markers, but there's also a marker there, so I'm hoping I'm not actually walked across. There's another there. It's in Harry Chiverton, Boberson Farm, God's Hill. He died May the 23rd, 1934. I can't see what year. But don't know if you can pick up all the snowdrops. Daffodils are all ready to come up. We got loving memory of Harry Barton of Langbridge Farm. Died November the 19th, 1948, age 76. And his wife Dorcas. Looks like May the 15th, 1954, age 79. Unfortunately, it is very difficult to see. What have we got here? We've got a little one. Loving memory of Dad and Mother Isaac Stallard. He died 26th of November 1928. Age 82. And then there is Emily Stallard. Died 2nd of April 1936. Another family plot. This one is to the dear memory of Arthur Edward Leicester, Esquire. Maths. Looks like school, MA, Trinity College, Dublin. Born 28th of June 1928. That must be when he died. It's written in, I think it may be Latin, age 67. So that's Arthur Edward Leicester. We'll see if I can find something on him and check him out. But that's the size of the plot that we got here. There are small stones, but they're totally covered in moss. We have Fanny, wife of Edmund Richards. Died December the 15th, 1925, age 78. And Edmund Richards died June, 81 years. A lovely name in loving memory of Evangeline, dearly loved daughter of Frank and Elizabeth Whittingham, who entered her heavenly home January 11th, 1925, aged 37. And then Eleanor Fowl Whittingham, sister of the above, died July the 20th, 1968, aged 82. And I am wondering if this is Dad. The best. Robert Morgan, who passed away May the 14th, 1920, aged 72. And also his wife Fanny, who passed away June the 16th, 1942, aged 89. A lot what, like I say, it's such an old graveyard you can't read. 1913 there, James Whittington. A thick old cross there. I don't think we're going to get much, but in loving memory of Catherine Mary. Can't really see. It's a shame. Yeah, we got Isaac Smith, who died February the 4th, 1908, aged 30. In the midst of life, we are in death. James Jackman, who died February the 18th, 1907. We got William Henry Wheeler, who passed away peacefully at Knighton on the Isle of Wight, November the 7th, 1904, aged 36. Also, in memory of Arthur Frank, dearly loved only son of above, who entered into rest on August the 7th, 1916, at age 14. Lucy Jane Smith, who died September the 16th, 1901, aged 15. Rest in peace, little one. Frederick Henry Gosden of Lesdown, who fell asleep November the 14th, 1900, aged 27. And also Richard Hartwell of Guernsey, He fell asleep at Heasley, Ayrton, March the 29th, 1901, age 65. Oh, this is quite squishy yet. This one is Anne Gardner, who died at Wroxall on the 22nd of April 1898, age 70. Also Bernard, infant son of W and I Gardner and grandson of the above, who died February 8th, 1902, age 9 months. That's in peace. Morris Smith, Thursday, January the 5th, 1893, age 54. Another, just a couple of beautiful yew trees there, obviously. Right, so that is it. Thank you for sticking with me for this episode of Cemetery Strolls from Newchurch on the Isle of Wight. I do hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment even if there's something that interests you. So, thank you, actually. Goodbye.